People keep saying newsletters are dead. Every time I ask them which ones they mean, they describe something completely different to what I and most real writers actually send. So, are newsletters dead? Or are we all just talking about the wrong thing? By the way, if you want to start writing posts people actually read, I've got a free 3-rule guide linked below. Grab it after watching this. So what's really going on when people declare newsletters dead? Most of the time they're talking about sales-heavy emails, the ones stuffed with promotions, discounts and announcements. You know the type. Every week it's a new product pitch or a generic update, and you barely remember what it was about the next day. For instance, there's a lovely little local pet supplies company here in my home village, but every single newsletter they send out to their customers is just a one product sales pitch. Here's the thing, that's not a newsletter. It's a sales letter disguised as one. Real newsletters, the kind that build trust, attention and an actual audience, look very different. They're closer to mini blogs. They share ideas, stories, lessons, things people actually want to read and look forward to. The pet company and I are currently in negotiations about adding a story, a tip of the month and a behind the scenes section. It helps. For example, my writing newsletter rarely says buy this. Instead it's full of observations I've had, mistakes I've made and tips that help other writers start publishing online. And guess what? Those are the ones that grow steadily, get read, even get shared. So when you hear someone saying newsletters are dead, remember, they're not talking about the newsletters that matter. And that's exactly what I want to show you in this video. How to make your newsletter one that people actually want in their inbox. If you want your newsletter to actually matter, here's what works. The stuff that gets people opening, reading and sharing them. Rule number 1, write for a single reader. First, write as if you're talking to one person, not everyone, not your future audience of 10,000, just one real human. Think about what that person wants to know, what questions they have, what might help them. When you write like this, your newsletter feels personal, relatable and useful, not just another email blast. Rule number 2, make every post useful or memorable. Make sure every edition gives your reader something worth remembering. It could be a story, a lesson, a clear tip, whatever leaves them thinking, oh, I needed that. If your newsletter is just, here's what I did this week, people might skim it. But if it teaches, entertains or inspires, it sticks. For me, sometimes it's a quick tip on writing. Sometimes it's a personal story about a mistake I've made that week. Either way, I want my readers to feel like they've learned something by the end. The third rule, be consistent, not perfect. You don't need to write like Hemingway or wait until everything is flawless. What matters is that people see your name in their inbox regularly. Consistency builds the trust you want and it keeps readers coming back. Perfect only slows you down and it can kill your momentum dead. I've published posts that were rough around the edges and guess what? They still got read, shared, even commented on more than posts I'd agonised over for days. In fact, for the last year or so, I've almost always dictated my drafts into voice memos. I leave the resulting transcript almost completely unedited. What you read is what I write, and how I write is how I talk. So that's it. Write for one person, make every post useful and be consistent. Do those 3 things and your newsletter stops being a dead sales letter and starts being something people actually want. And I can show you a couple of small tweaks that make these rules even easier to follow and how to start your first post today, even if you think no one will read it. Tweak number 1, reuse what you already know or do. You don't need to invent topics from scratch. Look at the questions people ask you, mistakes you've made or lessons you've learned this week. That's all you need to fill your newsletter. And tweak number 2, start small and publish often. Even a short 200 or 300 word post is fine. Don't wait for a 2,000 word epic to dawn on you. The more you publish, the faster you learn what works, and the more your audience starts to grow, even if it feels tiny at first. Following these rules is exactly how newsletters that actually grow got started. I see it every week with my readers and subscribers, people who used to think no one would read their posts. Now they have subscribers opening every email and sharing them with their friends. If you want to make your first newsletter actually read, grab my free 3-rule guide. It gets you started with some easy tips you can follow today. It's linked right below and it's completely free. And if you're ready to go deeper, my 0 to 100 subscribers bundle gives you everything you need to plan, write and grow a newsletter from scratch. It's linked from the free guide, so be sure to get that first. Remember, newsletters aren't dead, only the spammy ones are. Focus on writing for real people, delivering something genuinely useful, and being consistent. Your newsletter will thrive. See you next time. Take another look at writing that actually gets read. Cheers.